Last night, further builds my case for the Nets desperately not wanting to be a 4 seed. Why? They play better on the road. They basically punched the Celtics in the mouth in the second quarter and maintained, I think the closest they got was 7. Maintained basically a double-digit lead from halftime out. They're just better road team. You know, and it really sucks. I mean, they're going to finish 4, which normally you'd be thrilled, but because the NBA is retarded and they don't reseed, you know, they don't. Every other sport does. Football reseeds, baseball reseeds in the second round. So does hockey. This stupid-ass NBA does not reseed. So even if you win the first round, you get the heat. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, listen, there's a chance that, you know, the Knicks could lose to the Celtics. You know, there's a chance that the Hawks could beat Indiana. And normally, the Heat, the 1 seed, should get the lowest seed in the second round. So let's say the Hawks upset Indiana. Then Miami should get the Hawks. I'm assuming that they finish 6th. They could finish higher. They could finish 5, potentially. But let's just say it ended today. And how stupid is it that if the Nets win their series, and let's say Boston beats New York, which would be a mass celebration for me. How stupid is it that we got to play Miami and the Celtics get the easier route? It's just so dumb. I don't get the NBA. I don't. I'm sure it has all to do with money and playing these. You know, if somebody finishes up their series early, they can get rolling right into the next one because it's preset. To me, it's dumb, it's idiotic, and I hate it. So, 2 reasons I don't want to be 4. Because we suck in our own building, and you get the heat if you win. So, anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about the game. Listen, when you got your 3 best players, when they put up, 70 points, the Nets are going to win most games. When all 3 shoot 50% or better, you're going to win most games. Now, you may not beat the Heat, even if you have a kind of effort like this. And you may end up losing by 5 to the Heat. But when you have Lopez putting in 21, Darren 29, and Joe Johnson 20, and all shooting well, you're going to beat almost every team in the NBA on that particular night, with the exception of maybe the Heat and the upper echelon teams in the West, like San Antonio, Oklahoma City. You still may lose having those types of nights, but you're going to beat every other team. And that's what happened tonight. 3 guys played exceptional. No one else really had to play exceptional. Those 3. Normally, I always say you got to have 5 guys play well. But when your 3 play exceptional, you know you're gonna win the ball game. Especially when you're playing against a team, Boston, who you still have to count them as being undermanned. I know they've been without Rondo for such a long time, but he's such a key player. He's their best player, and even though they've played better without him for a while, you're going to beat most teams. Jeff Green was awful, and he's been pretty good the last several weeks. Pierce was great. 7 for 11 is pretty solid. But when your big 3 does what they do, and Reggie does what he does, he took a night off from scoring. He scored, but he had 14 points. So, it's bittersweet. Of course, you want to win the game. But, man, what I love, it'd be so cool to finish 3rd. I just don't see that happening. But, if you could beat Indiana, then certainly you're starting to raise an eyebrow to say, but I don't expect it. I expect to finish 4th. I'm hoping that the Hawks get the 5. I'd rather face the Hawks in the first round rather than Chicago, even though Chicago is not healthy. I'd still rather face the Hawks. I think even though they have a challenging matchup in their backcourt for us, I don't think they have anywhere near the toughness and the coaching that the Chicago Bulls have. Big shout out to my 14A Sports buddies. They had me on the show last night. 15 minutes of fame entertainment was in the studio last night. live. It was on the internet. I did post it on the Facebook page. I posted it late. I should have posted it early. I'm an idiot. I didn't. But I believe that the show will be on YouTube, and once it comes up, I'll put it up. We talked about the Nets primarily, but we also got into youth baseball, so that portion, if you're not into that, you might not want to watch that section. But it was fun. It was, an uncensored interview with myself, 3 other great Bayonne guys, young kids, one of which I coached when he was a kid, when he was 10 years old. I coached Alan Walsh. Maddie and Richie were also on the set. Support those guys. Check out their website, 14asports.com. The 14A, for those of you that are not familiar, is the exit on the turnpike for Bayonne. All these guys are born and raised in Bayonne, and they do a nice little radio show every Wednesday night in the Bayonne studio on 15MOFE.com. That's 15 Minutes of Fame Entertainment. That's what it stands for, .com. On Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I've watched their show. I've not seen them live, but I catch their replays. These guys are talented. They're funny, uncensored. And they talk sports, and they talk some other stuff too. And it's a fun show, and I had the pleasure of being with them last night. I enjoyed it immensely, hoping to come back. Maybe the Nets will win the first round or two, and the boys will have me back, and we'll do some more BSing about Brooklyn. All right, so good win for the Nets. Let's hope for the outside shot that we could pull a 3. But if not, we have to be proud of getting a 4 seed. Won't be happy without winning the first round. Winning the first round absolutely cannot beat the Heat. It'll be a successful season in my view if we could win 2 games in that series, if we got past the first one. All right? So leave me alone. Nice job. And by the way, D. Will is playing like a top point guard. So word is he's been watching the show early on, and he's been pissed off, and he wants to smack me in the mouth, and he can, because right now he's playing at the top of his game, doing all the things he did when he was with Utah. And whether it's this losing weight, whether it's, reading some of the stuff online that he's been slammed, whatever it is, it's good to see that the $100 million we paid is looking now like it was well invested, because just a month or two ago, it looked like one of the worst contracts in New York history, next to that friggin' $114 million still coming to that friggin' A-Rod. And for you Met fans, of course, Jason Bay was right up there with one of the worst. All right, so leave me alone. We'll see you soon.